I have a question on the group asking about the impact of utilizing the VAR system. So Talal, maybe this question for you, to have like a VAR on top within the feed. Like a couple of years back, we had no VAR, and now the VAR is part of each match. How do you think it affected the output?
For me, this is like a real added value to the football, to have the VAR system itself. But the main point is how to use it, as you know, guys, I mean, if we use it, I mean, if we discuss any case for more than 30 seconds or 1 minute, so for us this is like a wasting time. The players will get cold, the audience will get boring at home actually. So for me, I mean, the technology itself, this is for sure will add and help in many cases. But the point is how to use it, or how long we need to use it. I mean, this season I think it is much better than before. The years ago, they stop the match to review one point happened maybe 5 minutes before. So it is done. So why we should go back to 5 minutes before? If we couldn't do it on time, so we need to skip it. But the VAR itself, for me, this is for sure. This is adding a lot.
Yeah. But the same question I will go for you, Paulo, asking about having the VAR with as a part of the output. At the same time, how do you think the analytical, let's say like extras, such like the tracking systems and the extra elements, how do you think it's affecting the output?
The VAR is a good thing. At the end, we start understanding some decisions that are made. For us, it's a challenge because at the end, is a part of the match that we cannot control. So when they stop the match is stopped, and we need to follow the protocol that is during this period. I think in the future, the VAR should be even more open to the public. Maybe in the future we should listen to what they are saying, or at least some key points to understand better. This is something that is done in some sports, and with a very good results. The people start understanding better and not put always the referee as the bad guy in the field. Maybe this will be also one point for the future. We never know. For now, the VAR I think is a good thing, even for us in terms of broadcasting. We have more pre-match setups to do with the VAR because we need to calibrate our cameras and we need to do a lot of tests with them before. But it's something that is, I think, had value to the production. The other elements, I think all the elements that bring statistics or new points to the viewer are also welcome to the production. At the end, it's always a challenge to put on air or to use them, but it's add value. So at the end, all the elements that had value is always welcome.
But that's perfect. I think from the VAR side, there were a couple of challenges. As you mentioned, Paulo, I think as an example, in the NFL, they have some kind of interaction even. So if you are on the venue, you can listen and hear what's going on within the referees' discussions and decisions. I believe that might be the future for the VAR. I believe, like, if you remember, like 2016, when we had the first test on the VAR, it was only implemented in the second division in Brazil, and everyone were like, why are you doing something that will never happen? But like by days, it is like part of the game, and it's like very important part of the game. So I think like I'm going. Do you have anything, Mohammed? Go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to add one point regarding what Paulo mentioned, because I really agree that the referee shouldn't be the bad guy for the VAR system, and it's very good that fans understand why the decision of the referee team, totally referee and the VAR system, was that specific decision. Just I want to mention one of the projects that we are working with FIFA right now is to visualizing the point of view of the referee for some specific moments during the match, it could be a very big added value for VAR system. We had several meetings with the decision makers and top guys in FIFA technology department and innovation department, and also broadcasting department of FIFA. We had several meetings with them. They are very interested, and I think it could be very interesting for fans as well to see what was the vision of a referee on that specific moment and why he didn't see that moment. Because sometimes because we produced some, we had some tests with UEFA referee committee and also with FIFA team. And sometimes before producing the output, even we are not understanding why the decision of referee was that. But when we are going to eyes of the referee, we see that he hadn't any vision to see, for example, that incident for the red card or that handball, that kind of thing. So I think with progressing of the technologies, also VAR system could be more interesting from fans' point of view as well.
Yeah, just I will back to a conversation that we had, you, me, and I remember Imad and Jamal that time. We were discussing the point of view of the referee, and then we said it's going to be like too much politics. Let's cut it. Never think about it.
Exactly.
And you see, like after 4 years now, it is part of the
exactly because always we are afraid to producing anything from point of view of the referees for the fans. Unless it will be with the confirmation and approval of the referee committee of the right holder, especially FIFA or UEFA, and this is exactly what they are looking right now.
Nice.
So
that's really nice. So glad to hear. I will change the topic a little bit and go for another crazy idea. I remember when we discussed it first time, me, Talal, and Paulo, Jamal, I think was there. Fatma was there as well from our team. And Talal told me in front of everyone, this is a crazy idea. I like it. Let's make it. And it was more about the vertical productions. So before we just go through it, the virtual productions were a special production been done only for a mobile device. I will ask about it later, but if we have the video, Victor, please, can you play the video?
نسخة 2016 فقد التقى الأهلي أيها السيدات والسادة.
One second, guys. We have a video. Let's see it together.
الإمارات العربية المتحدة. الإمارات ملتقى العالم لشباب الأهلي. غساني بيلعبها أمام المرمى. السلام وبقوة الآن غساني سدد هنيه عبد الله. ساعتي هي الصح، ودائما نقول الحكم هو الميقات الوحيد للمباراة. تحية عبد الله أمامية. السلام والفرصة بعد تمريرة النقبي. يا النقبي كأنك تنقب ثروة في عالم كرة القدم، وبيلي حطها وجميل جدا من فوق خصيف ليعلن عن راح جواو، تقدم جواو. يا سلام رجع في الدقيقة 88 اللون الأبيض مامح قلبها أبيض، ما أكرني أبيض بالذات على شوط المباراة الثاني. 1-1 تقدم الشباب. نقبي وخصيب برا المدافع الشمالي يفرح الآن، معليش شوف لعبها وفي القائم وراحت عبد الله. يا الفخر انتصر، شباب فخر ابو ظبي لكاس السوبر الاماراتيه. الرمه واللون الابيض ساطع واستاد هزه. الكاس جايبينه وشايلينه لفخر ابو ظبي. السوبر جزراوي، السوبر للفخر الظبياني.
So I believe that was like one of the craziest days we had. Maybe it took a couple of times to do the test before, but as I remember, it was a little bit crazy. So Talal, why do you think it was a crazy idea?
You know, this is not normal things. I mean, to have, especially. I mean, we used to use our mobile in this way. Actually, now we use it like an easy way. Like a daily use position. The important thing of this, Ammar. Okay, I mean, now we did it 2 times. We did one time test, and the second time. I mean, the most important point now. I mean, how to have it like live. This is the challenge. I mean, for me, this is the point. I mean, technically or operationally, how can we do it? We did it, I believe. So this is part of the scope. But the main thing is like everybody can have the match on air using the vertical setup. I think this would be the next challenge. I'm not an engineering side. So I don't know how are the engineering or the technical people will manage or to find solution for this. I don't know if there is solution or still not, but I hope that we can have. The second challenge, sorry, Ammar. I mean, now we are doing this like a second production. I don't know how often it can be possible to do it with the same main production. This is really important point we need to think about.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember the struggle even to just like sharing the idea. It was not that easy. So before I go to Paula, I'm going to ask Jamal your feedback on that experience.
Well, as you said, it's a crazy idea, or as Talal said, it was crazy. But I think this is the future. I believe that like 3 to 5 years later, maybe it will be the main digital streaming will be on the vertical. The new generation, they are lazy to flip the phone. So using I think it was nice to watch the normal goal or the normal the highlight in vertical. It was good experience. I think the more person like he suffered is Paulo, the cameraman. I think everyone, their feedback were when I spoke to them about it, it was not easy for them to catch the ball or to take it as a vertical production. It was very, very tough for them. But it was good experience, and we can think about it that in the future will be something like it will be like one of the main productions one day.
Yeah, but before I go to Paulo, just like briefly, we had a couple of discussions about that, and I remember we were discussing with the engineers, shall we like flip it or move it or just crop the feed? So it was like a couple of options. Paulo, can you tell us about the experience you had that time?
Vertical, I think, was one of the crazy that we did because we have a lot of preparation to think out, a lot of study. And it's funny because at the end is something that we internally fight against. I think everybody that is in the field and in the broadcast, when you see someone using or taking photos or recording with a mobile in the vertical position, we want to kill them. So it's something that we need also to fight our internal demons, So one of the days that I was thinking how to do it, I was studying at home, watching a lot of videos, and my son was on my back. Why you are watching vertical? And I was like, yeah, because your generation is so lazy that he cannot turn. So I need to think and I need to do extra job to follow you. At the end, it should be the opposite. But it was a good challenge because at the end, one more time, the young generations also push the old guys to innovate. We did 2 tests. One of them, we use the same OB that we are doing the production, because it was a big OB. We can divide OB into parts, and the OB, one part of the OB did the normal production, and then we use a small amount of cameras to do the vertical test. And was also the hard part was to explain the cameramans that also are from the old generation, and that from now on they need to look by a rectangle, and a very small rectangle, and they need to have to catch everything. So at the end, if you can imagine, we start from 4:3 to 16:9, and then we flip everything to 9:16. So all the framings are different. In the final, we use one dedicated OB to do that. But even the main concern was always to integrate the 2 productions in the way that we can complement it. In the video, we saw some pictures that was not produced 100% in vertical. We used the Skycam, used Steadicam. So it was a challenge to try to combine the 2 productions for us to have other points of view for the host production, but also we can complement the vertical production with some footage from the host OB. And was a really challenge, even for the cameramans. Everything was very small, and they need to think the way to frame, because like for some cameras is more or less okay, but if you imagine camera 1, the work is totally different, because at the end you have a lot of stand and you have a lot of grass, and you need to put everything in a very, very small rectangle. So it was a good challenge. I think the next step is to try to do this as standard, because even when we push this to be a standard, we will be more easy, because at the end we arrange a protocol. For this time, we record everything in the vertical, and then we need to convert, and we put some delay until we have the final product. But if it's a standard, everything will be easy, because even the technology that at the moment is for the vertical, we don't have too much technology that allows us to do that. Even the technology can be developed, and it's something that I think will be the future also.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is the TikTok effect, my friend. Huh? So this is how we should follow the fans, how they want to see it. This is the whole thing. You don't know, maybe like in a couple of years, you will have another shape or another way to make it done. But the whole thing is, I remember the discussion with the video engineers. How can we have output through a mobile device, telecasting somehow? It was not like an easy discussion, I believe. Andre, regarding the TV graphics, I remember you had a way to use the same TV graphics for 2 outputs, one for the vertical production, the same one at the same time for the live output. So how was that experience with you?
Another crazy experience, right? So what we did in the end was, because we were using a second OB to produce the vertical production, so we were able to send the signal from our graphic machine, and in the mixer they were able to position the graphics in the correct way, meaning in the middle of the screen. So you could see during the match the full clock always there, with the timer running, and when there was a goal, with the clock with the goal scored, watermark also in the correct position. In the future, and because I see that this might be used again, and I can see it by my daughters, because the way they see, the way they consume media is completely different from me. We have a huge TV at home, but they prefer to watch it on videos on the mobile or on the iPad. So I think this is going to happen more often. And I think the next challenge on the graphics side is to perhaps build a project graphic line specifically for this. We can use the same graphics on both. So we can, whenever we put one graphic on, we can trigger the second machine, but the graphics will be specifically for this kind of productions. This is how I see it.
Yeah, I will go for the commercial marketing side. I believe like those crazy ideas should be implemented in a way to make more money and to sustain the idea. So Malik, what do you think of that part?
I think it's very interesting, and this is why we're going to introduce it in the ITA. We're going to launch new vertical production, and identify rights and takers for mobile. So yes, I think any good idea, the sustainability of it is basically relying on how you can commercialize and monetize. We've identified, yes, definitely there is a market. There are those that are currently hooked on their devices. I think the consumption on second screen has been exponentially grown in the last couple of years. We all predicted the disappearance of linear TV. I think it is on its way in one way or shape. But definitely utilization on second screen for us is an opportunity, if not only for vertical, but also for OTT. So yes, we will be interested. We need to start digging more around what are the real values for such products and how we can, first of all, get a sponsor for it to basically be part of the feed itself as a technology partner or whatever, and then later on find the streams for that consumption to then be able to commercialize. But yes, so the immediate answer is yes, definitely, and we are looking at how we can basically do it.
Yeah, maybe this is the last topic we have on the table. What I would like to know from Rahat and Muhammad, their feedback on the vertical crazy idea. Rahat, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that most of the discussion is around how many crazy things the league has done. It's a difficult one for sure, because soccer as a game is always moving forward, and you know, when you're looking at 16:9, it's always great to be able to see where the ball is going. So the moment you flip the screen this way, it becomes obviously a lot harder to frame, and I'm guessing it was a big challenge for the director and the cameraman to do it. But it's great that it was possible, and you know, looking at consumption trends, we are very clearly seeing one trend of vertical consumption, but also this whole trend of being able to consume in complete 3D space. And I think to the point of your discussion around metaverse, what's happening now is, you know, automatically you're able to convert 3D 16:9 feed into 9:16, and you know, get the framing correct. So that's something that definitely can be done and would be great to automate the workflow. But also real-time conversion of what's happening in 2D into a 3D environment, and you know, just being able to experience the game around. So you know, it's really exciting to see how new consumption patterns are coming up, how new devices are driving, you know, the overall sports industry to make it more and more interesting for viewers. And it's great that, you know, leagues are being able to innovate that quickly to be able to enable all of these technologies. So yeah, interesting to see where it's going to go next.
Yeah, I'll wait from Muhammad to see his feedback on that idea.
You know, exactly as Rad mentioned, that the first interesting point for me was that UAE Pro League always doing very amazing things. Just after, I think for the first time, Bundesliga did this idea. Just after few weeks, we saw that in the UAE Pro League, and that was amazing that it was implemented. From a Spanish point of view, we had some experience about the vertical output. That, for example, with our recent work with Italian League Serie A, for the social media, they wanted some specific format that was more vertical about one of the works that we had recently for one of the Juventus matches. And that was the first time that we faced this kind of request from the clients. And then we worked in our solution, and we did some development to have this kind of format as output as well. However, I think the 99% of the fans still they like to see the match in traditional format. It's my point of view, but from technology point of view, exactly we customize our solution to be able to produce the right format for vertical production as well.
Yeah, It's impressive how things goes. I remember 2007 there was a discussion about 3D telecasting. I went through the OB. At that time it was like the World Cup under 20 something. I remember I went inside the OB. I was amazed when I put the special glasses, the 3D glasses. Everything was amazing. I thought this will be the future. Like a couple of years after, nobody's mentioning the 3D anymore because the whole like experience been changed. The fans didn't like it, and the people even like me with the glasses, they can't like put two glasses at the same time. So it disappeared. But maybe like Malik like mentioned the point of disappearing of the linear platforms in general. I believe it's happening for sure. It's going to happen, but it might maybe in Middle East take like a little bit more time. But in general, I believe the whole world is reshaping in a way and I believe the best way is to follow the fans how they like, and this is the best way to get the maximum benefit of the output. While we were just talking for the last maybe like 40 minutes, we didn't mention the football at all. So we were just talking about what's happening around the football, and it's a little bit weird. Like we spend almost like 2 hours of chatting about what's happening outside the pitch, and I believe it's a little bit interesting. I believe now people should understand how things going and how many people are involved to make the 90 minutes shine on air. And when they just like enjoy seeing the goal on air, they should understand that more than 500 people at least like working on that moment to make it happen. So I believe it's I reached the last thing. So I would like, and I mentioned my part of conclusion. I would like to go all over around one by one, just have a feedback from you on this session, and what do you think the future how it will go, and how you see it from your angle, from your company perspective. So I will start with Paulo. Go ahead, please.
The future who knows, no? The thing is, I think the near future is going to implement what the innovations that we did, and we can consolidate these innovations and create a better way to do it, even with a lot of space to improvement. And we need more crazy ideas, because at the end, the crazy ideas is the things that we put us in a different way, and is like our fuel, you know. So the future will be challenged for sure.
Yeah, for sure, it's challenging. Talal, what do you say about that?
The important thing for me, I mean, for the future, that we are create the future. You know, we are create the things which we need to present it to the world. You know, not on the opposite side. You know, now we are most of the time we are following some countries. You know. But for me, I mean, the future should be, I mean, starting from here, actually, from us, I mean, to the world, not on the other side. The challenge will never stop, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Talal. Thank you, Mr. Rahat.
So I think the short-term future is really around augmented reality and immersiveness into how the broadcast is able to use animation and graphics to make it more interesting. But I really think in the long-term future, what we're seeing as a big trend that is going to shift is with devices that are coming, which are far more 3D and immersive in nature. Content has a potential to be able to also become far more three-dimensional in nature, where you can actually take the viewer right into the action and put him right, you know, where the action is happening, and move and see where, you know, from whatever perspective he likes. And it's something that we're working towards as a very exciting project in the back, and looking forward to see how that kind of evolves with new devices, with AR and VR devices that are just around the corner. It'll be quite interesting to see how content in sports evolves in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Rahat. Muhammad, how do you see the future, the near future at least?
I think the using of the technology in football world will be more and more every day. But exactly as what we discussed, I think it shouldn't harm the nature of the football. From a Spanish point of view, so we have some a great idea and some crazy idea, and this is, I think, why we are working with the UAE Pro League. So for the personalizing the feeds for each fan based on the IP, this is technically this is what we can do right now. If we have the enough cloud servers, we can generate 100, 200 different feeds from each match right now, and it could be each specific range of IP can have a specific customized sponsors. So I think the personalizing the feed for the fans will be a trend in next years. And also, we are working right now to releasing some crazy idea of our immersive technology to be able to showing the match through eyes of the players, mixing with virtual reality in real time. This is what technically we think we can achieve in next 2 years, and it will change the broadcasting of the match totally. So, but you saw something in the news that Manchester City started something with Hawkeye, and also some other companies are working on that. But we have some technical proof that we can achieve with that as well. So I think the future of technology in football world is very bright, I think.
So I will consider that as an announcement. No, I believe you have to manage a meeting with Malik so soon. So I'll go for Andre.
Yeah, so like everybody mentioned, I think the future is now in many of these crazy ideas that we discussed here. It's going to be the new standards. I'm sure. Like VAR, nowadays we cannot see international competition without VAR. That would be impossible. Something that's a few years back it was a crazy idea. So of course everything needs to be polished and needs to be improved. But I think from all the crazy ideas, it's going to be the new standards, and we are looking forward to be working at next UAE Pro League and Abu Dhabi Media, and to keep up with not only what the technology is bringing to us, but also to present new things and utilize what we have been done all over the years with the new technology.
Yeah, Jamal, I'll go for your opinion on that, and I need to highlight that we discussed one time that maybe the virtual reality can be used as like someone inside the pitch to see the operation, how it's going. It's more about like check what's happening inside the match instead of watching the match itself. So your opinion on the future and how you think it will be.
Actually, the technology experts already explained that, Rahat and Mohammed, and from our side as a football, as a pro league, we'll try our best to be up to date with the technologies. We'll try new things. We'll always be ready to get all the crazy or new technology or ideas to give it a try or to do adventure. Regarding the future, I'm not sure, but yeah, virtual. I think that the virtual elements will take big part for the next couple of years, I guess. So yeah, from this platform, I would like to just let you guys know that we are ready to have any crazy or any adventure and technology. So just let us know.
I believe the word crazy is the most been used word within this like round table. No, Malik, last but not the least, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Ammar. Actually, I won't add to any of what our colleagues just basically explained in this conversation. I'm going to take, on behalf of everyone in this session, to thank you for a great moderation. I would like to thank TKT for basically hosting us today and giving us the opportunity to discuss with great mind I think we would love to see more and more of these sessions. You have greatly conducted a session that I am very proud to say that I was part of. On behalf of the UAE Pro League, I would like to thank you, thank the TKT, thank everyone basically that attended this session today on helping us dive into our league again, and then basically explore future projects, inshallah, for the next, let's say, cycle to come, and take more, let's say, courageous steps together.
Yeah, so from my side, I believe I'm going just to say thank you for everyone. I would like to thank Imad, our ex-colleague, as well, as he was part of this session. So I would like to thank you all for everything, and hope we can make it soon. So just like for the next roundtable, I would like to have all of you again. We're going to share the next topic so soon, so it would be great to have you again on board. Thank you everyone for everything. Thank you, TKT, and have a lovely time.